Alrighty, here we go. So we're looking at the third asynchronous day of our study together for English 067. And this is basically just a quick rundown on the instruction sheet for today's learning. So I'm just going to go through very quickly and read all of the content. This is for people who need a little bit of extra support in understanding the worksheet, or just people who prefer to have an auditory experience. Some learners like to listen more than they like to read, so this is just a little bit of a support video. So we can see that what we have here is essentially our instructions for today's asynchronous learning. Now, just a reminder, the reason we have asynchronous learning is to give learners flexibility. Some of you might have jobs and you might have picked this course because you wanted to have a little bit more choice on Tuesdays and Thursdays as to when you study. So the value of our asynchronous learning model is that you can pick the time of day to do your learning. That being said, I'm always going to try to support you as best as possible. That's why I'm starting these short instructional videos as an extra support. So as we can see here, we've got the first set of initial instructions. Below is a list of tasks for today's study time and also for today's homework. Make certain to bring all completed work with you to Wednesday's class. This is the key point. So any work that you do, you need to bring with you. In particular, if it's a worksheet, it's not a bad idea for you to do the typing and then to print it out, or bring your computer with you so that you have a digital copy in class. You need to be able to access your work so that we can look at it. Okay, so today is September 14th, right? It's a Tuesday, and we're going to be focusing on mostly reading skills today, but there's also a support video from another excellent teacher, not myself. I like to mix different resources in, so this is a really good teacher named Sean McLeod, and he's going to introduce the idea of how to write summary paragraphs. So today we'll start by looking at reading skills. We're going to be doing some reading and scanning. Scanning is essentially the skill where you're reading through and looking for specific data or specific information. Also, these are this reading skills paired together today with reading and analysis. So those two kind of go together. The third skill we're working on today is note taking. So we're going to continue practicing taking notes, and this will be from the support video that I mentioned. Finally, you're going to give a chance or take a toss or try to write a summary. And that's going to be based on the support video and the notes you generate from the support video. Okay, so let's take a look at the specific tasks. There's 3 different tasks today. So task 1, go to VIU Learns, download the active reading worksheet. You're going to pre-read the worksheet and make sure that you understand what it is hoping to get you to do. Then you're going to download a document. It's a PDF document from VIU Learns. It's under week 2 and it's called Reading 2, Old Growth Forests in the Logging Industry. You're going to use this as our reading resource for today. So you'll be reading through that particular resource and trying to follow the instructions from the active reading worksheet, which is also available on VIU Learns. Now, this activity might take you anywhere between 30 minutes and 1 hour. So if we go to VIU Learns, just to demonstrate what we're talking about here, you can see that we have the second reading available. So this is the article that you're going to download, and we're just about finished. I'm just about finished making the support worksheet, so that will actually go up there. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here's the active reading worksheet that you'll be using. This worksheet is going to give you instructions on how to complete the reading process. So you should read through those instructions very carefully. You can see there's a grid down here, and I've actually completed the work for the first few sections, the title section, paragraph 1, and paragraph 2, and you're going to be asked to carry on with the process. So take a look at the examples of what's already been done. That's kind of an example or a demonstration, if you would. Trying to keep these videos relatively short because that's what you guys have asked me to do. So I will actually create another video in a second that'll show a little bit more in depth. Okay, so exactly. So once you've completed the active reading worksheet, you're ready to move on to task number 2. Task number 2, you're going to watch the support video, How to Write a Summary, and this is by Sean McLeod. I've got to spell his name right here. I double-checked that. And you're going to take notes about the steps that Sean is instructing for the correct components of a summary paragraph. you can use the Cornell note-taking method or your own note-taking method if you have one that works for you. Now the video is only 3 minutes long, so you might be pausing it as you go to try and capture all the details. So I've allotted about 15 to 20 minutes of work time for task 2. Now task 2 is important because it's actually going to set you up for the final task of the day, which is a writing task. And actually, the next demonstration video that I'm going to make will actually show me writing my example summary, so you will have a demonstration of that process. Okay, so now we'll move on to task 3. Task 3, now it is time to complete reading 3. So if you see on VIU Learns, we've got reading 2, reading 3. Here's that video, that Sean McLeod video that is the instructional video for how to write a summary. And here's reading 4. Don't worry about reading 4 for now. That's something that we'll be looking at later in the week. Okay, so you're going to complete reading 3. You can see it's very clearly marked right here. It's the second article about old growth forests and the logging industry. This is our main topic for this week, this whole idea of old growth forests and the logging industry. There's a few different sides to look at here. Okay. So once you've finished reading that article, reading number 3, you will attempt to write your first summary paragraph. It should be between 5 to 7 sentences in length, and you want to make sure that you follow Sean's summary parameters. So you'll know those because you'll have already completed task 2, which will introduce you to the summary parameters, to the summary method, and you'll be taking notes, so you should be ready. Okay, so for task number 3, I've allotted between 45 minutes to 1 hour of work time. So altogether today's work, it might take you 2.5 hours, or it might take you an hour and a half. So it depends on how rapidly you're able to complete the tasks. Okay, wonderful. Don't forget, I will be on my email from 1:30. So if you do need have any extra questions or you want any extra support, don't hesitate to email me. I'll be checking my email. Wonderful.